So in our last class, we covered how to get data into Power BI, which is what we did from different sources. I think we covered from 11 sources, even though your organization or where you're working from have their data. They will actually have their data from any of these sources I covered in our last class. So, and which was the first stage of your Power BI roadmap. You should know how to extract data from different sources, which you have already covered. And I believe that, okay, if you are given any data, they tell you, okay, the data is in Excel file, the data is in SharePoint, you'll be able to get it. That one is my guarantee that, okay, wow, my students will be able to get these things. So today is how to clean. Clean data is one of the hardest thing for data analysts. That, yeah, let me just be blunt tool for you. It's one of the hardest thing for data analysts. So cleaning data, and it's cover most times 60% of your analysis before you now do your visual, you do everything. So, and today we are covering what we call data transformation and preparation. So for data transformation and preparation, we'll be covering what we call data cleaning, data transformation and augmentation, introduction to M code, which is the language for Power Query. So Power Query has its own language. You know, you might say, okay, maybe they say there's no coding in what's it called? There's no coding in Power BI, there's no coding in anything. Yeah, there's no coding. But the language that everything you are clicking will be clicking in Power Query, the language is being written on is called M code, which is called mashup language. We're using MScript for transformation. I'll be covering this. Actually, will not because I won't be able to cover all of this for all today, because I think this data cleaning will take a whole session on its own. So, and organizing queries for efficient transformation and collaboration. One of the things you need to learn as an analyst, as a Power BI developer, is how to collaborate, because you'll be working much in a consulting firm, yeah, as a Power BI developer. So you have other teams that you'll be working with. How can you collaborate with them? How can you use this thing? There's what we call version control. Now, I think there's GitHub integrated to Power BI service, where you can collaborate with your team, share updates, pull requests. If you are a coding background, you'll be understand what I mean by version controls. So what version controls is just something like this in a very simple way. Is, everybody have Google Drive here. Yeah. Everybody have Google Drive, everybody have, let me see what they can do. We have Gmail, we have what we call Google Drive again. So everybody have Google Drive. Let me open my Google Drive so you can understand what I mean. So in your Google Drive, you can see shared with me here. So everybody have it. When someone can share something with you, you can update it. Same thing with your Google Doc, Google Spreadsheet. So they can share with you, you can share with other, you can collaborate with other. So that's what version control means in just simple terms. So, but in programming, what they call it version control, Git and GitHub, all those stuff. It doesn't matter to you. What it means is that, okay, if you're working in an organization, a consulting firm as a Power BI person, you should know how to organize query after you finish your transformation. Okay, is there any other person coming to update that transformation? Once you organize it, it will be so easy for them to collaborate with and go straight to the point instead of them going through one by one again, following those threads you have already overcome. So we'll be covering that. And there is what we call duplicate and reference when preparing your queries for data modeling. Don't forget what query means. Query means what? Who can tell me what query means? In the charts, who can tell me what query means? Who can tell me what query means? Nobody? Thank you, Christian. Thank you for that. So query means table in Power Query. So when you're preparing your data preparing your queries for data modeling, so what is duplicate, what is reference, we'll be covering everything for that. So for today, we are starting with what's called data cleaning. Yeah, we're starting what we call data cleaning. Yeah. Starting with what data cleaning. Module 2. Yeah, data cleaning. So for data cleaning, let me move this. Who is this? Okay, my organizer have not yet come. So what is data cleaning? Let's see what data cleaning is. Data cleaning is a process of preparing and refining your data to ensure its quality, consistency, and accuracy before further analysis or visualization. Power Query provides you a range of tools and functionalities to help streamline and automate the data cleaning process. Let's take, for example, what is data cleaning in normal general? I think I believe everybody here know how to cook, how to prepare food, right? Let's say, okay, because you have different demography here. Let's say we have what we call, let's say we want to cook beans. We want to cook beans. Okay, let me pick this as general. So, when you went to your farm and I think beans might be so complex. Let me start with that. I will use another one as scenario again. So if you want to cook beans, you just take your beans right from your farm, as in right from your farm, not where you go and buy it. So before you cook that beans, you need to sieve the beans. Like you need to filter, okay, the dirty one, the one that's what's it called? Insects or insecticide has eaten. You need to sieve them, clean one from the dirty one. After that, you need to wash the beans. Yeah, you need to wash the beans. After you wash the beans, you need to get some, what's it called? Some ingredients that you want to use to prepare the beans, salt, pepper, tomatoes, many other things you want to use. Anyhow you want to cook your beans, it depends on you. But that's how what's it called? In my own way, that's how I want to cook my beans. And after that, I'll put it on I'll get onions, I'll get other things, and I'll put it on fire. It will cook, right? And I will finish it. So that's how, before I cook that beans, because I know, okay, I want to eat beans. So there are processes that this thing takes, which is what I need to clean that beans for me to know that, okay, I don't want to eat stone in my beans. I don't want to eat anything. So, and that's one part of scenario of data cleaning. So I want two people to tell me another scenario of what data cleaning is in their own normal simple way. So I need two people, so raise up your, what's it called? You can raise your hand, so I give you mic. Okay, Malcolm, you're welcome, Malcolm. So, one of our moderator is you're welcome, Malcolm. So please, you can help me moderate that. So I need two people to tell me a simple scenario, like a simple process, maybe if you want to cook or you want to, something that you need about cleaning. As I just explained about to cook base now. So I don't know if we get that. Okay, Kufu Wala. So Malcolm, please help me anchor that, please.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Kufu Wala.
Thank you for this opportunity. As regards the scenario, I would say baking. For example, if you want to bake
Okay.
a cake, before you can use the flour, you need to sieve it, because if you don't sieve it, there are some particles that they won't dissolve if you're baking, and at the end of the day you will discover that once your cake is done baking, there are some little chunks that are not meant to be there, and then it might end up being hard. So for your flour, before using it, before mixing it with other ingredients, you need to sieve it so that all the little particles will come out, or the chunks will will be away from the flour.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, and that's your whole way of what we call cleanliness. I think you get that. So, the second person, do you have any other person? Okay, who is that?
I think that's
Do you have any
all.
other person?
No, that
Oh, okay. Okay, Malcolm, can you give us a simple scenario of data cleaning, like something we can just use as normal scenario?
Okay, so I'm going to use a very simple and relatable example. So we know of the thousand separators, right? And like when you get to 1,000, you put the comma in between, and some people actually put those commas in when they're filling their numbers, but Power BI would read it as a text because it doesn't understand what comma means. So for you to be able to allow Power BI to read that as a number and be able to carry out, maybe sums or addition or like multiplication, you need to remove that comma. So the process of removing that comma so that Power BI can read it as a number is also called data cleaning. So that's a very simple example.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. I really appreciate that. I
I think
believe
everyone else.
we actually get what data cleaning. Okay, someone wants to say, okay, yeah. You can give the person mic. So
Yeah, Abu to Emmanuel.
Um, yeah, so I mean, hello everyone. Quick example with regards to data. Say for example, you are doing an assessment and then you get your data, but then the age of someone there that was like participant in the interview is like 120 years. Although we know people live that long, but they're like it's very unlikely for someone of that age to be able to speak properly. So maybe cleaning that and making it an actual figure, like cleaning it to or getting back to the team to ask them, do they really think that is that actually happened? They interviewed someone of 120 years. That's that process as well. It's a data cleaning process. So that's an example.
thank you, Abu White. Okay. I believe everyone got the data, but let me bring one more scenario in 2 minutes. So I will use food as example. I love food, so food is my love language. No my news. So let's say I want to eat rice now. So I can't just say, okay, rice. There are things I will need to do. I need to clean the rice, parboil the rice, put everything. So those things I do is all called data cleaning. So it's just normal layman. So now coming to data, as we just explained in technical time now. Okay, you want to analyze what we call, okay, we want to analyze a demography of people. So as in, there is no way an age of person can be 220 years old. We need to clean it out. Okay, what's the actual age of this person? And there's no way that age of someone can be 2 years old and want to participate in this class. It's impossible. So those are things you need to check in, you need to clean, and everything you need to do. So that's data cleaning in whole general. So, but these are things, data cleaning is so more, as in it's so wide, and keep repeating, is that I want to have the address for you as a data analyst, but it doesn't mean you won't be able to overcome it. The more you practice, the more you get better, the more you master it. But before you clean the data, these are things you need to consider. Data cleaning doesn't have a process. Like you just need to follow a process. No process for it. It's always based on the data that you have or the data you were given. But these are things that always should come to your mind when you want to clean data. Firstly, data profiling. That's what Power Query provides you. What data profiling? What the data profiling does, it gives you the capability to analyze and understand each characteristics of your data that you have, including the data type, the distribution, missing values or the outliers. You'll be able to see that in each of every column. That's what Power BI provides you for, which is Power Query provides you first. You can be able to profile your data at a glance. So you'll be able to see everything at a glance. Instead of you looking, you want to stress yourself. At a glance, you'll be able to see everything in that column, each of the column of your data. That's the first thing, data profiling. The second one is assigning data category. When you need to put this at your mind when you want to clean data. Okay, each of these columns that I have in my data, this record that I have in my data, what are the category? Is it a text category? Is it a number category? Is it a date category? Is it a currency category? So this thing will make your analysis more better at the end of the day when you want to visualize or you want to tell your end goals. So assigning data categories, it should come to your mind next. The third one is what we call replacing values. Okay. Is there some incorrect spelling or incorrect records in your data that you need to replace them with the accurate one? For example, like null blanks, okay, misspelling, standardized formatting, inconsistency data entries. All these things will be covering it as we move on. But these are things you need to consider. You can jot it down, you can screenshot it for later, anyone you want. Renaming column. So renaming column is very easy, like very easy one, and it's make more of anybody that wants to collaborate with your thing, or even you, or any or your stakeholders you want to present to. So it can be more descriptive to them, and they can be able to comprehend it. Assuming you have an age column now, you're now naming it. You are now naming it. What? How old are you? You have an age column. You're now saying how old are you? That naming convention is hard for people to comprehend because it doesn't tally with the records that you have. So all those things will be able to explain more better when you want to clean your data. You need to put all these things at the back of your mind. Okay, when you go through everything and you see that okay, even for every data you actually all these things applies to them. So and the fifth one here is removing duplicates. So, Power Query provides you with all of these things to remove duplicates from your data. Duplicate means it will let your data, you have more redundancies in your data. Redundancies means, okay, when you say you should fill a form now, okay, for this registration, you fill a form, and you don't know that, okay, you already fill a form, you now fill it again. You still fill again, you have like 3 records, which shouldn't be. So, but in the, what's it called? When you clean it, you need to remove those things because the same person has filled like 3 times, which means redundancy. It will not give you the accurate results at the end goal when you want to finish your analysis. So you need to remove the redundancy. You need to check duplicate to remove to have what we call accurate data. And the last one here are things you need to put into back of your mind is filtering rules. Filtering means exclusion. Exclusion a rule based on certain condition. Okay, let's say out of people and we want to see only people that are between the age of 20 and 25. We don't want any other people at that age again. So that's what filtering does. You can filter it out from the data. Okay, filter only people that is between 20 years old and 25 years old for me for this data, and you will be able to fetch that out for us and remove any other one that are above it or below it. So these are things you need to put into consideration for what data cleaning. So, and after we call data cleaning, we will call data transformation and augmentation. You might be thinking, okay, what is data cleaning? What is data transformation? Yeah, they are different. You can see the scenario I will put here for data cleaning now. It means you want to prepare and refine your data for quality. So what data transformation does for you is that, okay, after you already refine that data, you have cleaned that data. Before you can transform it, you must have cleaned them to be accurate first. Transformation and augmentation means, okay, you don't want to fine tune it. You want to add something to it. Like, okay, after you wash your rice, you parboil your rice. You now want that rice to be, okay, maybe you want to convert it to jollof rice, you want to convert it to fried rice, or you want to convert it to fada rice. You now bring ingredients, you bring time, you bring your ingredients that you want to use it to fine tune it to become the rice that you want. That's what data transformation is. You want to fine tune that data so it can give you more Java things, more accurate results, and more insightful analysis. So you can say if I put manipulating and reshaping data to make it more suitable for what? For analysis or visualization purpose. That's what data transformation does for you. And you can see these are things you need to consider when you want to transform. That when you see that okay, you're already transforming. The first thing is adding column. So once you are adding column to your existing data, it means you are already transforming that data because you are reshaping that data from what it is before to what you want it to be. Adding column. Next one is what? Merging queries. You are and this merging queries means augmentation. You are bringing data from other place and merging it together to give you more insights analysis. and appending queries. Appending queries is appending tables. We are coming there and pivoting and unpivoting columns. We are coming all the when you perform all these things, we are transforming and augmenting our data. It means we are manipulating and reshaping it to give us more suitable analysis that we want. And after that, when you're using M code to modify, which you will be covering later, you're modifying your existing data with a code. It means M code is not something so hard, not something so I'll just cover it. It's not a code like you're writing programming. No, no, no. So, and that's it. And the last one is restructuring that data, organizing and restructuring it. So when you're doing all these things, it means you are transforming and augmenting your data. And that's what we have for now. So to move from there, what do we have again? Okay, we have the last one. So we need to move into the demo of how to do all of these ones that we mentioned from data cleaning. So what I'll do is to get into my Power BI. And my Power BI will open in like 1 minute. And after I open my Power BI, I will locate to that student file that we have. Okay. So when you open the Power BI, and this is the Power BI, you see, okay, let me close this. So for me now, we go to get data in the Excel. So I just click on get data from Excel, shortcuts, and I will say Power BI Masterclass, data transformation. Yeah, data cleaning and transformation. So you locate that file in your student file and, and you'll be able to get that. So let's bring that into PowerPoint. Yes. So you can see from here now, we are having, because in that data, we have multiple sheets. We have multiple sheets, you can see different ones. So I'm bringing everything here down here. So I will check on everything. 1, 2, 3. I'm checking everything. Okay, which one is sheet 1? Sheet 1, sheet 1. Okay. So I'll click on transform data. Take it to Power BI, Power Query rather. It will take you to Power Query. Take it to Power Query. Yeah. And there we have. So let's see how we are starting from. Okay, let's start from. Let me arrange it according to the order. Data transformation come last. Data transformation come last. So no splits here. So the first thing we're covering here is what we call transpose. What do we mean by transpose? Can anybody tell me what transpose is? In the chat, I want to see. Transpose. Who can tell me what transpose is? Rotate. Thank you, 1. About to 1. Okay, any other person? Any other person? We don't know what transpose is. array of data, change direction of the column and rows. Thank you. Change the orientation. Wow, awesome. So I believe already know what transpose is. So for you that won't know transpose, if you are from mathematics person, the topic in mathematics called matrix. Yeah, matrix or matrices. So it means in matrix there is a called transpose, and let me open my whiteboard. So there's what we call transpose here. So what transpose means is this. Let's say you have a table here like this now. Yeah. Transpose means you see this T. It means you bring this one into this one, like you just convert it. Anything that is there. Let's say you have A and B here, and you have C and D here. So what transpose is, you have C and D here, rather. C and D. Let me remove this. So what transpose means is this. It means you want to bring this A and B that is in column here. A and B that is in column here, you want to change it to AB by rows, and CD will come to CD. So what transpose will do for us from here now is this. It will bring this A will be A here, and this B that is there will come here, A and B. And C that is there will come to the another row, and D that is another row will be another row. So if you have another one here like F, where will F be? F will be here. And if you have G here, G will be here. So in matrix, you call this 3 by 2 matrix, and when you transpose it, you have 2 by 3. So that's in mathematics, 2 by 3, and this is 3 by 2. So that's what transpose is. Transpose means changing a column to a row. Changing a column. That's what transpose is. Changing a column to a row. And changing a row to column. So that's what transpose is telling us. So once I transpose this now, it means this icon here that I have here, product name, product category, and sales will come to what? Will come to the column. It will be product name, product category, and what? Sales. And everything down here in this row will be a column. So when I want to transpose, I will come here and I will come to transform. Can you see this transform tab here? And I will see transpose. And I will see what? And I click on transpose. You can see that now. We have product category and what? And what? And sales, which is what you have from here. We have product category and what? Sales. Because you can only locate these two rows there, 1, 2. This one is there. Why do we not have product name? Why? You can see product name has disappeared, which is this down here. Product name. So what we'll need to do is this. I will come back here. The first thing I want to do, because I want to bring this product name down here, I'll come to this promote, or I will say reverse row. Okay, no, not reverse row. I'll come to this place here, this promoted data here. I think I explained what apply step is. In Power Query, there's no called Control Z. There's no undo in Power Query, no Control Z. So, when I do a mistake now, I come here to this apply step. You just close what you don't want there. You cancel it. Anytime you make a mistake or you want to go back to your previous step, you just cancel that step. So, because I want to bring this product name, I want to bring it down so I can transpose and I have a 3-1, I will close this promoted header. Once I close it, you can see it has bring that column that moves to header as what? It has bring it as a row. So I will now transpose from here. Once I transpose, you can see I now have the 3 column that should be there, which is product name, product category, and what? And the sales. So to now bring this one as header again, because I need to bring them as their header, which is the heading name. Now come here, you can see use first row as header. Use first row as header, and that's how you have your data now. You have transposed your data. So that's the first way of transpose. So the second one we are having is what we call how to deal with what? Blank rows. Blank rows is different from null. Blank is different from what? Different from null. So blank rows means any rows that you have null across the rows. Like for this number 1 now, you can see null, 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 null. That is a blank row. That is a what? Because the null affects other column. For these two, it affects other columns. These are null. These are null. So blank might not show anything. So if I come here now, I come to transform. Let's say come to home tab and I say, okay, remove rows. That we call remove rows. If I say remove blank rows, you can see it has removed all those rows that did not find anything inside them. You can see what that blank rows is. You can see all these ones also has null, but it doesn't have it across other one. It doesn't have it across other ones. And that's what blank rows. So for you to remove all these ones, we have what we call in this manage column here, what we call choose column, manage column. Okay, I'll be explaining all this one little by little. So for this remove rule now that doesn't remove, we can now remove alternate rows. Or you can say, okay, you know what? Remove top rows. Remove top rows means yes. Okay, before I remove the alternate rows, let me explain what this is. Starting from this choose column. So what choose column does in your Power Query function is to choose the column that you want to make available. So let's say I only want ship mode and I only want ship mode, customer name, and the sales. So I only want these 3 columns. Once I choose them and I click on OK, it will only bring those columns here and I remove other ones that we don't select. That's what choose column does. So who can tell me what this remove column does? I've explained choose column. Who can tell me what remove column does? And same thing with keep rows and remove rows. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Someone said I should transpose again. Yeah, I will do that again. So who can tell me what choose column does and remove column does? Nobody. Okay. I think nobody here know what choose column and remove column does. So let me go back. Nobody wants to help me. So you guys are not helping me. Wow. Okay. Choose column call. Okay, thank you. You say you can help me. Okay, thank you. So choose column means any column that you choose, that you select, it will be the only one that will be there. And remove column means remove column means once you click on this remove column, any column that you select here, and you click on remove column, that's what you will remove. If you click on anything here and you say remove column, it will delete it for you. So, and if you want to do multiple, you just come here, you can see remove other column. This remove other column means choose column. That's just it. So when you see remove other column, it means you should remove other one because you only select this one and you said remove other column. So it's only the one that you selected will be there. And what choose column means is this. Remove column is just the opposite of choose column. So any column you want to select, you just check it. While remove column, anyone that you select from here, like if I pick on this and I say remove column, you can see it remove the one that I selected. So, and that's what choose column and remove column does. So, and after that, we have a
Sorry, Mobile, you're muted. Hello?
okay. I don't know why I'm muted. Is that from your end?
So someone was talking. I had to mute all people, so I couldn't find who was the person that was talking to. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Someone asked a question now. I think I need to check that. Which choose column you should be able to bring up other selected one. Okay. Why choose column? Thank you, May. Thank you. Yeah. I think you guys already understand what choose column and remove column does. So for keepers, it means if you want to keep tuples, you have different one there. You select the rows you want to keep. If I say I want to keep only 4 rows, it means you only pick from standard class, same day, standard class, and same day. This 4 that's what it will keep for me. It will delete other ones. And second, okay, now you can see it has removed other one. That is keep first rows. So the other one you can do for keep rows, you can see bottom, same as just opposite of top. You will keep the bottom. Range of rows, what range of rows does for you that okay, specify first rows, and now say how many rows do you want to specify with it. If I say okay, pick number 1 for me, and I want 5 again, starting from that number 1, and pick 5 for me too. You can see that. Because start from this number 1. So if I say she start from number 5, we will start from number 5. Now we'll pick 5 rows next to that number 5. If I come back here now, okay, I don't want number 1. I want number 7. And pick next 5. Okay, let me close that. So you might think, okay, what's the number 7? Okay, let's see number 8, first class. So if I say, okay, start from 8, you should start skipping that route from number 8 here, which is this one, and pick 6. So it means it will start from this first class and will pick next 6 rows for me. That's what range of rows does. You can see that now. So that's what range of rows does. So and we have what again? You have duplicate. If you have duplicate, okay, keep duplicates. You can see it will pick duplicates for you and it keep them. And after that again, we have what we call keep error rows. We don't have any error, so we don't have anything to keep. You can see table is empty because there is no error in that table. And that's how keep rows does. So and the opposite of keep is what? Remove. So if you want to remove rows, we do. So what I want to show you is remove alternate rows. If I say alternate rows, I want to remove this 5. I want to remove this number 5, and I want to remove this number 13. So how would I remove them? So let's see how I can remove them. First row to remove. I want to remove number 5. This remove alternate row is always tricky. So number of rows I want to remove is how many? I want to remove 3. And how many do I want to keep? I want to keep 16. So let's see what this thing will do for me. I'm coming up. This is so tricky, and we need to get it together by ourselves too. Do you get what I just did now? Let me go back again. So what this just does for us is just simply like keep rows. It means you start from number 5 and then remove the next 3 rows between them, and it keeps 16 that I mentioned. You can see the total is 16. So that's what alternate rows do. So for us to now remove alternate rows based on this is what we'll do. I will now come here again. Let me now go back again. I will now say, you know what? Remove alternate rows. You should start from, I want to remove the 5th one first. And number of rows to remove, 1. And number of rows to keep. How many rows do I have? 19. So I want to keep 18. I've removed that 5th one. And the next one I want to do is this. The next one I want to do is this 12th one. Now I'll come back again, remove alternate rows. The first row I want to do is 12. Number of rows I want to remove is 1 because they have much of alternates. And you should keep 17, which will be the remaining. And I will now say, you know what? Remove the bottom rows for me. I don't want this total here too. Yes, bottom one, and we remove this total. Yeah, that was how we move those dots. I know we have a lot of questions, but we're coming there when we have the time for question. So, and after that, that's how this removals and everything comes in. I think I've explained what this does, and I've explained what blank holes is, which is what you first did here. From here, we have blank holes means anything that contain null across the row. Anything that contain null, you can see across the row, that will call blank. That's what we call what. So when we say blank holes, it means it contains null across the rows. That will call blank holes. And when I remove the blank holes, you can see remove them for me. And I now explain removing top, removing bottom, which I just illustrate. But alternate is what I did here mostly. And our question will come in when we have our question. So that's for blank. Let me go back to transpose for people that didn't get the transpose right from beginning. So this is all we have first. Let me go back to actual data. This is the data that we have when we open it. So what transpose will do is this. You just come to transform and you say transpose. You just go to transform and you do what? Transpose. So once you transpose, it will bring these 2 rows here as your column. I will convert all this column to your rows. Once I transpose this, you can see I have only 2 here. But we have other things at that top, at this top here, that is product name, which we not locate because you locate this as your header. So what we need to tell Power Query first is that, okay, I don't want this as header. I want it as a row too. So what you now do from there is you need to close this promoted header in your Power Query. Close it. Once you close it, it will take it down as your rows. Promoted header means use first rows as header. That's what promoted header means. So if you notice something at this top here, you'll be seeing some formula like you can see source something. So this is what we call M code. You just come here. After you come there, you come to your transpose and it will take it down. You can see you now have 3 columns as is expected. You can see table does transpose something stuff. So everything you are performing here is writing code for you, which is called mashup language, which is known as M code. So you don't need to write anything. Power Query, they have already programmed it. So you can see now in Python, if you are Python from here, you are coming from programming or SQL background, you will know what you need to write for you to be able to do all of these things. You can see in one just simple click, Power Query gives everything for you. So you just come here, you now want to bring it as your header. You just come here, you see use first row as header. Once you do that, you can see And if you don't want to use promoted data cancel here, you can come to this use first row either. You can say use headers as first row. It will take you back to how it is before. So anyone you want. And that's how transpose works. That's how transpose works. Hope I'm still sharing my screen. Okay. So, and that's how transpose works. We have covered transposes, we have covered blank rows and how to choose column and remove rows. So, next one. Next one is what we call null. And after null, we come to replace value. Yeah. So, now our questions can now come in. Malcolm, right there. So you now have 10 minutes for question before we move on. My screen is freezing. People can't see my screen. Thank you. Yeah, I know a lot of questions are coming in. So what if you have thousands of rows? How can you remove alternate rows? Help with removing column. For this, I don't want to start to use it because I'm still on research on how I can actually approach this. So, but I will maybe before I send out the remaining things tomorrow, I can put in some updates if you want to remove alternate rows for millions or thousands of rows. But for now, I don't have any update on it yet. So, but the essence of just to show you how those function works. So when you have any data cleaning challenge, you know, okay, there's actually a function that actually do this for you. So I think that answer your question, Adejoke. Thank you. So any other question before we move on? You still have like, okay. Okay, who is speaking? But please, if you have question, raise your hand, please. Someone is speaking.
Yeah, it's me, Kingsley Rupin. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Kingsley.
Okay, my question is removing alternate rows. Is it not possible to just click on remove empty rows on not rows so that all the empty can be removed instead of selecting alternate row 1, 2, 3? I think if we click on remove empty rows, everything, all the rows that are empty can be deleted once and for all. Is it not possible that way?
It is not possible. And it is possible. It is yes and no. When you come to cleaning, as I explained before we start our demo, is when it comes to data cleaning, it doesn't have a straight process. It's always based on the data that you have. But based on our demo here, we are having blank rows, which I show. Blank rows means empty rows means it contains empty across the column. Everything is no, like we have it here. And that's when you have remove blank rows, which is empty rows. That's where you have this function called remove. That's where you have this function called remove blank rows. Blank rows means empty rows. So it means it is empty across other column. Okay. So, and when you have these alternate rows, it means someone are not, you can not across it. So you now want to remove it because this one doesn't contain black, this one doesn't contain black. So that's when alternate now comes in. Okay, I don't want this one here, remove it for me. I don't want this one here, remove it for me. Because you have small data here and we can be able to do much, but we can be able to illustrate it. So in what's it called? Having large data, I haven't come across that yet. And I haven't even met the data that contain much of it. But in those areas, okay, if you're having large data like that, there are things you can do. That's when filtering comes in. I'll just say, okay, I don't want this. Remove those now. Can you see that? I see someone answer that, ask some question like that. I don't know who that is. Adejoke. Okay, Adejoke, do you see what I just did now? So when it comes to that large something like that, you just filter them out and continue with your analysis. So you have millions of rows. I don't think I have millions of rows here. Let me find if I have. Okay, I think this one is kind of a large one. So if I come here that, okay, you know what? Filter null out for me. Do I have null? Okay, I think I have null data here. I think I have null data here. How can I minimize this? Malcolm, are you there?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, I want you to accept these people. Like, I don't know why. I need to minimize this. So I want to show something. So if you want to have null like this, now I can just say, you know what, I don't want this null here. And it will remove all those null out of it. So when you have a scenario like that, you use what we call filter. Yeah, when you have a scenario like that, you use what we call filter. But for alternate tool, we just do now, I think we get the scenario of alternate tools. We get the scenarios of alternate tools, and that's it. Any question? I think we have 2 minutes before we move now. Any other question before we move on? Yeah, okay. Malcolm, give my okay. Yeah, have the mic.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yeah, I can.
Thank you very much. Okay, so on your last explanation now on filtering, now if we filter our data just like you demonstrated just now, will those blank cells, will it not appear when we are trying to visualize our data on the report view?
Yes, it's real based on some scenario. It's real, but there are ways how you can do it using what we call tags. Okay, when you get there, I can see you are relative our filter, and when you want to visualize it, they go call that. And when you get there, so that's beyond the scope of what you actually did just now. But your answer of your question is yes, it will affect it.
Okay, secondly, sir, can I ask another question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if we kind of filter that way, will it not affect our data, or is there any other thing we can do to fill in those null
We have not got to null value.
when we have it
In,
scattered across our
in our data here, we have what we call null. How we can take null? We have not got to null. I'm just explaining when we have blank codes and the function you can use to remove blank codes, which means across every column, it is what? It is blank. Please hope we get what I'm just explaining. Blank code is different from null values. In your data, some people say they can't find data. Go to your data, you see data transformation and cleaning, or data cleaning and transformation. You see that. So blank code is different from null value. In blank code, it means everything across that row, like everything across that column contain blank, which is empty. It means this one empty, you can see now. For this one, it is empty. For this one, too, it is empty. So all this one doesn't tally with other columns there. So it means it is empty. They are blank. Do we get that? Hello, Yaya. Do you get that now?
Yes, sir.
So null is different. You see, we have another query for null, which we'll be covering after this. So when we get there now, our question can now chip in. So I think that's You can move to, if you have any other person in the lobby, if you have another person in the lobby. Okay. I think you can continue from there now. You can't see my screen, Chica, it's your network. So Malcolm, you can move them so we can continue with our class. So thank you. And we now continue. So the next thing now we are doing in our what's it called? In our Power Query is treating what we call null values. Treating what we call null values. We have different kind of null here. Treating what we call null values. So treating null values means we have different way of treating null value, and there is no specific way. I will keep repeating it. When you have data cleaning doesn't have a process like a guide that you follow that, okay, this is what you do first in 2 seconds. All your cleaning will be based on the data that you have. Always put that at the back of your mind. Don't say, okay, I know how to clean back, so we do transpose first, you do something. No, it's the data that you have. So what we'll be illustrating our demo here is how you can approach it when you see them. Okay, you know that, okay, this is what you can do when you see this kind of data. This is what you can do when you see this kind of data. That's why we have this data here. So for this column now, we have different null. You can see null. You can see null. So who can tell me the difference between this null and this null here? Anybody? You can tell me the difference between this null here and this null here. Please. The data set is in your file. So go through your file. Thank you, Olaide. So who can tell me the difference between the null and null? That is the one I just showed now. Yes. Type it here. Type it in the chat. Null and null. Okay, one is a text. Okay. What of the other one? Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for your own. You say one is a text. Null has been prefilled by Power BI as blank. Why? Wow. You guys here are Google, so I don't even need to teach you guys again. You guys are Google here. You already know what all these things are. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Awesome. Awesome. So I already know what null values are and this. So for this kind of a null here now, this null here, Power Query has already detected it as a blank from any source it is coming from. It detects it as a blank. You can see. So it detects it as a blank. And all this null here, it means it is written as null from that source. But all this null here that you see here, it means it is Power Query automatically detects it from that source that is okay. This is a blank. That's why we filled it with null. And all this one that what had already been from that source, that's null. From that what's it called? From the source. So to now handle with this kind of data now, if you have this kind of data, yeah, different way of you can handle them. So, and one thing in Excel, like in data that you need to pull into this, in our data claim, we say we call assigning data categories. So in this kind of data categories now, in Excel, there are 2 ways you can know data categories. You have what we call text and numbers. That's what data form. That's what a tabular data is being formed for. Text and numbers. How do you know a text? A text is what the one that will be left aligned. It will fall on the left. Numbers are the one that will fall on the right. You can see what it is now. So this is a text and number. So for this size now, we have what we call null, stuff like this. You can see we have null at the end of it. That's one. If you look at this, okay, sorry, I didn't mention what we call data profiling right from time because I didn't check that. You can see this what we call data preview here. I think I need to go through this in my manual so I can be able to follow through it. For data cleaning, data profiling, I've already going into much of demo. So what we call data profiling in Power Query is this data preview here. If you are opening your own Power Query, if you just open it, like you just download it, you might not have all this file here. You might have something like this as a default for some Power Query. So this is what we call data profiling means. If I come to this column quality, I will come to view and I will select data preview, which is column quality and column distribution. What this thing is telling you that, okay, you'll be able to explore each of those columns that you have in your data that you bring in. You see, this column is telling you that, okay, valid, you have 100% accurate data in this column. No errors and no empty records in this column. You look for the second column. You see this line that you see here, it's called the column, what's it called? It's called the column distribution. And you see this one that you see, all this number is called column quality. So column profile will show you the statistics of each of that column. You can see the total number of that column is 110. No errors. There is 28 empty records. There is 9 distinct values. There is 2 unique values. There is 0 empty string. Minimum number of things that is come there is black. You can see, and the maximum is yellow. So based on the count that he has, minimum is what? Black. And the maximum is yellow. But you see what it shows for us in the distribution. So these are called column profile, which is all column statistics. Anyone you want to call it. And those are what we call data profiling. Those are what we call data profiling. So you can see now for this color now, you already know that, okay, you already know percentage of error that you have. And there's over like 25% of empty rows in this column that you have. And the only one is 75%, no errors. For size too, 100%. You can see the units 100%, 100%, 100%. This one is 48% of empty rows. So these are column quality, which is what we call data profiling. Be able to see your data at a glance. So it'll be very easy for you to explore the data and know where you want to perform your analysis from and how you want to clean your data. That's data profiling for number one. And the second one we have here is assigning data categories, which we are coming back to later. So we come back to data category. Well, let's brief through data categories from here. So for this column now, this one is telling you that, okay, this column here is a text column. You will see this ABC, which means it's a text. You can see. So all these things are data categories, which is what we call data type, anyone you want to call it. Decimal, fixed decimal, which is currency, whole number, percentage, date time zone, duration, text, true or false, binary, and so these are different kind of data type that each of your column can have. This one too is what? Is a text. This one, this A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, it means any. It means what? It means any. It doesn't have any data type. Like no data type put for it. It's just any. So once I change this thing now into like a number, I will have error. Can you see that now? Because you can locate some errors here. Okay, these are not what? These are not numbers. Because I want to convert it to number. They are not numbers, they are text. If I click on this error now, you will see the error. You see, you're going to convert it to what? To number because they are text. So you want to assign your data category, you will get to understand more of how this works. So we are coming there, and now you can deal with it. So deleting those data type now, I can now have this now. I want to do this one as text. I want to do all this stuff. So for this now, we now come to null value. So we have different columns there, which is color as null, size too as null, which is this two. Unit price, okay, it doesn't have no sales, sell start date, sell end date. Again, you have discontinue date and product category date. So to start with this now, if I look at this data that I have for now, let's start with this discontinue date. I am seeing no everywhere. Let me filter, let me see what I have in the column. Okay, this column contains only nulls. This column contains only nulls. If I check for this one, I have 40% of nulls. If I filter it, let me see if I have, okay. There are other things there, but not take almost average of that column. So I will need to deal with this later. But this one that contain only nulls, when you have a column that contain only nulls in your data, the best thing for you to do is to remove that column, delete, which means you click it, you click on that column and you come to remove column, which means it will delete that column for you. You don't need it because 100% of that column is filled with null, which means it's not important for what? For analysis, for this continuing bit. So the next thing we have here is sell end date and sell start date. So this sell end date and sell start date, because of what we have, it always depends on your analysis or data you are working on. So sell end date and sell start date, assuming you have this in your transaction data or your orders data, and you have something filled with null like this. So the best thing for you is not to delete this null. You cannot delete this column. You can see it's showing that 100% contain of this thing. You cannot delete the column. And you cannot leave it as null. So what you might do when you are dealing with this date column, when you have it as null, it's always depends on date. If you're having like age or something, you cannot fill it in. Because you see this have sell start date and sell end date. So it means that is standard, but it doesn't have end date. So you can come here and say, you know what? Replace, this is where replace value that we have here now comes in. You can right click or you come to your transform tab and you see replace value. Where is replace value? You can see replace value here. And we have the option replace error. So we come to replace value and you say, you know what? Find null for me and replace it with nothing. Can you see that now? It means find the null and replace it with what? Blank. Like I don't want nothing. And what is the reason I change this to blank is that, okay, if you want to do your analysis and you convert this one to your data type as dates, you will not have errors. And when you want to do your analysis, whether you want to see the difference between the dates, you will know that, okay, for this date and this date, it will only show you that, okay, this one hasn't continued. That will do everything for us. So you can create a conditional column that will actually do that for us. So, and that's where we now have this continuing date, which is what you can do later. You can do that later based on your analysis. So you haven't sell end date or sell that date in your order date or transaction date. This is how you can treat those nodes. You put them as blank and you create a column for them later, which is what I will do. And for sales unit price, you don't need you. So for this size, let me come into the size column here. We have numbers and text, and we have null. So how can we battle this? For you to battle this, you cannot do anything here yet. You cannot do anything here yet. We need to look at the corresponding, for this color and size, we need to look at the corresponding rows. We need to look at the corresponding rows. For this product category, what do we have? Let me see what we have. Let me bring it here. Yeah. You just see what I just did? Beyond that column. So that is data transformation. So I just drag it to where I want it to be. So for this one now, you will see road frames, elements, socks. Okay. Socks, Jesse, what again? So for this kind of data now, we need to look at the corresponding rows. Okay, what are the things that we need to do? Size. If you look at this name column here, you will see that, okay, corresponding size is going from this column. Color is going from this column. Category is going from this what? From this column. So when you have a data, before you can be able to do with this kind of a null, you need to look them. You need to look across them first. You need to look across them first. So, and how can you now solve that? How can you now solve that? To solve this color first, if I look across this, okay, there is no color for this one. For this node, one. This one, red, LL red. So it means across these rows, contain red. That's another one. For this one, it contain black, and silver. Yeah. For this one, contain red again. So what you do for this kind of a null, for this kind of blank null that you have here, is what we call fill. We have what we call a function called fill. You can see here in your transform tab, you come to fill, and you have two options, fill down and fill up. So what fill down will do for us is that we will look at where that thing start from null. From here now, this where does not start. You will pick the previous one, like okay, multi. We will fill it by multi. We will look at this one, red. We will fill it by red. Black. We will fill it by black. But what fill up we do is that okay, we look at the last one at the bottom. It starts from black. Okay, we fill it with black upward. This one black, so you fill it black upward. But before you fill, that's why you need to check across the correspondence. When I click on fill down, you can see it has filled that column with the previous one that I see at the top. And this is how you do. And you see all this null here, we are coming there later, no exit for something. And that's where null comes in. So we've cleaned this one from 25% empty to what? So 100% empty, which means this column is ready to go for analysis. You have a question, I know. So we're coming back there later. So fill down and fill up only are advisable to use when you have a text column that you can compare in your what's it called, in your data. If you have an existing column that you can compare them with, you have a null value like that as a text. If it's the number, it is not advisable to fill down, or is a date, it's not advisable to fill down. So you can put that at the back of your mind. Okay, when you have another column like two or one column that you can compare that null value that will correspond to them, you can fill, you use what we call fill function at that moment. So for this product category, you notice something here, we have what we call if you notice, it is going from this wood frame, something like that. Wood frames, wow, mountain frames. I think it's something, what can we do to this thing? I think it is something like to this correspondence too. So what I'll just do is this, I'll come to fill. I'll say, okay, fill down. Yeah, I think that's it. And you can see that now, we still have some what? Empty as what? 48 and valid. So why do we still have this? Okay, the reason we have it here is because it's added to the existing one because we just fill and it's added to the existing one. So you can see now colors product category. So if you have other things you want to fill, it will add to it instead of it creating another step. That's another way how you can handle null. So the first way you can handle null is when you have an entire column that is full of null, you delete that column entirely. And when you want to delete a column that has null, you need to consider that column. Is it necessary for your analysis? Is it important? Is it important? You can say this one is showing us 48% now. You can say 52, 48. They are so it's so close. I don't need it. Let me do it. You need to confirm. You need to look to it very well. Is it important for my analysis? Same thing for this cell end date. I cannot just say, okay, because I have most of the no, than like 50% no. I need to delete it. No. Because it's important for the analysis that I want to do. You have start date and you have end date. So you can put an interval between them and you can see the date, you can see the product that is still available in the store. Self-start date means okay, you already start. End date means they already bought it. It means for this date, it is bought or it was bought at this date. But this one here it is still on the it is still in the supermarket or in the market, anyone you want to call it. So when you have no value, that's how you have different method of approaching them. And I think we've covered the 3 ways on how you can approach now. So for this now, we have what we call numbers and text. For this Jersey, we have 62 extra large, small, no. So let me see what we have. Extra large, small, no, and for this no. For this kind of data, if you don't have what's needed to be used, we can reach out to the what's it called, to the department that are in charge of those products or in charge of those data, like your database administrator or the data engineering team. For this also, so can you find me the record for this thing? Because you cannot just fill in anything. And what are the criteria that you can use for large, that you can use to measure large size, medium size? What type of numbers? Is it from 10 to 15 for small, 25 to something? So when you have this kind of data now, you can. Another way to handle this size is to create a conditional column for it, which will be coming when we come to app column. So creating a conditional column is okay. You can now specify a range. If this is so something, it should be 58, it should be large, it should be something. You can specify those number. But before you can do that, you can reach out to the team or the department in charge of those things so they can give you more explanation or how they are using data. So will give you more insights on how you can transform that data yourself. So all these ones, okay, no blanks for that. And that's how you can undo null values. So for replace value, okay, nothing here for replace. Let me pick something here. For replace value, I'll use this as okay, I think I've shown what replace value is. Okay, from here, replace value means, let's say I have this null now, this null, large or Excel. I'll just come here, I will say, you know what? Come to replace value for me. For this column, come to replace value. Come to replace value. Look into size. Oh, replace value. Look into L for me. Anywhere you see L, replace it with large. So anywhere in this column that Power Query find L, it replaces it with what? Large. That's what replace value means. And you can see that now. Large, large. So if you want to do for small too, you can say anywhere you see S, put it as small. And that this way range can now comes in. You can now specify a range, which from which number to which number is large, from which number to which number is. So we can put that and we get our what's it called? Our adding column. So we can put that. So that's what replace value does. You can say, okay, let's see for null. Remove null. Let's say replace null. I say replace value while click. Okay, replace value is now here. I'll come here. Now say replace value. Replace null with, let's say replace null with 25. So anywhere you find null, it will change it to what? 25. Can you see that now? So that's how replace value works. So, and that's what we should be able to cover. And after that, what do we have again in our agenda? Okay, renaming column, removing duplicates and filtering rows. So how to rename column is just something simple. You come here, you can say double click. That's one method, simpler method. Or you come to rename here in your transform tab. When you click on rename, you can say, okay, you know what? This is pool.name. Name this as pool.name. And you can see it has been named it for us, and you'll see this step here renamed. All the steps will be performing, you'll see it clearly to this place. So that's renaming, and then filtering. Filtering means, okay, let's say for all of these things that I have now, I want to only see records for black color. I'll just come here, I'll say, you know what? Give me only black. So I don't want any other one. And you can see that now. The only color that contain black, it will give me all their records. And same thing. So, and that's how filtering works. And if you don't want it again, you can come here, close the filtering, or you come to this drop down again and say remove clear filter, and everything will be done. So this is what we'll have for tonight. For data cleaning, I think we'll stop at replace value. Our question can now come in for this. What's the difference between distinct and unique value? Our question can come in now. So distinct and unique value. Distinct means, let me use this Power Query scenario to suppose it. Both of them are just in English. Both of them are both in English. What distinct does for us? Let me see column profile. Okay. What can't I be able to see? So for distinct and unique, what distinct means, it will look at, okay, let me show you what this is. Let me say remove duplicates. And you say remove duplicate now. Distinct means it will only bring this record, this black. You know, there are many black here. When you look at the distinct, it means it will only look at them once, bring them out once. That's what distinct means. Unique means, okay, how many of this one record are now there? If I remove duplicate now. Okay, let me do it down here. What's person question am I answering? You can see we have multiple things here. Black now, how many blank are here? Each of these blank, red, white are the distinct. So the unique is now telling that, okay, 1, 2, 3, how many of them are now unique? I remove the duplicate now. So you can see this is distinct. You can see it only show black, which is once, red, white, blue, silver. So this unique now will now be telling me that, okay, the total number of unique thing here is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 8. So unique will be telling that, okay, there are 8 unique values in this column, which means black can be many multiple times. Red can be many multiple times. So when you look at every term, all of them distinctly, which is one by one, it's give it 8. That word distinct and what's it called? Distinct and what do you call it? Unique. That's what it does. I think I answered your question. So if you have question, please raise your hand. Okay. Nobody is raising hand for question. So Peter, I think I answered your question. You can raise your hand so they can grant you mic.
So Muba, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
So I know a lot of people ask questions concerning the alternate rows earlier on. So I know you used it in the when we're talking about blank values. So I wanted to say before, but I don't know if it was going to like drag you back. I thought maybe you could like talk about it again and use it in the example. So maybe people understand it. I think people missed it up. Or if they are fine, then maybe we can just move on.
Okay. Peter said you got confused about distinct and unique, right? Peter, are you there? Distinct and unique, right? Okay. So I don't know. Okay, let me share this. I don't know why this is not working. Let me see if that one can show distinct. Yeah. This one show what we call distinct now and unique. So you see, unique is for these road frames, helmets, socks. It is what? It is. There are many of them. Let me remove them. Let me show you distinct. So the distinct means, okay, you can see road frame, Jesse and everything here. All of them are one by one, which is 37, which is the unique one. You can see 30 and distinct and unique here. This one is kind of tricky and I do only say it very rarely. So 37 distinct means for each of these things now, it now appear one. This one will only appear once, which means anything here that appear once is the distinct, which is unique. I think this is, yeah, it's bit tricky, confused. Let me now bring it down to where it is before. Let me bring it where it is before. Distinct. I would say distinct. That isn't unique. And anyone there that can help us out? Anyone there that can help us out? For distinct and unique. Unique is showing us 9, which means okay. So what unique is telling us here before we now remove distinct is this. One thing you should know that okay, distinct is unique.
What is the we get something.
Distinct is unique. So it means unique is saying that okay, for this to hold frame, the number of times that it finds it in duplicates is what is saying that okay, the total unique is tabs can be 5 times in this column. It will count it as 1. The hold frame can be 10 times in this column. It will count it as 1, that is 2 unique. Elements can be another 5 times. That is 3 unique. But what dictates is telling that okay, good frame, if it is 1 by 1, like the unique one, which is the actual one that is need to be accurate, which is gold. Gold appears as in it should be one thing, but it can appear multiple times. So what unique is saying that okay, the number of times it appear multiple times, it counts as 1. And the other one that appear multiple times, it counts as 2. That's what unique is telling us based on this column distribution. Hope I'm making sense. Thank you. What is this? The name of the ones. Thank you. I think hope we get that now. Yeah, people have dropped some different example down here down for us now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Noja. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Noja. Yeah. Hope I'm making sense now. Okay, how can you enable the column profile? Just go to your view tab. You see this view tab in your ribbon, and you come to column quality and column distribution. That's what you do. So, okay then, any other question? Any other question? Can use the mic, and you can, anyone you want to do. Can use the mic, can use the chat. You have 15 minutes to go. Any other question? Malcolm, is anybody in the lobby? No.
Nobody. I think they all understand.
Okay. Okay, someone said, where can you get the data? Okay. You can watch the screen here. For the data, just go to your file. The file sent to you. The file sent to you. You find it inside this data transformation folder. So once you open it, you will see data cleaning and transformation. So that's where the file is. Any other person? Any other thing? I've showed you how to enable it. Only go to your view ribbon, your Power Query, and you'll see column quality and column profile there. Check it if you've not checked. Any other person? So if you don't have any question again in the next 3 minutes, so we can call it a day from here. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you. Welcome to the world of cleaning data. So we continue on data transformation in our next class. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. So thank you so much. You're welcome.